My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. The government shutdown could end in months or even years. This is what President Trump has stated. The government shutdown could end in months or even years. And this is very interesting because he's not backing down. He can't back down. Trump says he's considering using emergency powers to build a wall. It's not... President Donald Trump said Friday that he is considering using emergency powers, which would allow him to use military funding to build a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. I can do it if I want. We can call...
You considered using emergency powers.
There you go. He said, yes, we can do it. I can do it if I want. We can call a national emergency because of the security. I haven't done it. I may do it, but we can call a national emergency and build it very quickly. This is getting if we can do it through negotiation, we're giving that a shot. Absolutely, we can call a national emergency. I haven't done it. I may do it. We can call a national emergency and build it very quickly. It's another way of doing it. So I think that's a good thing. Trump has to he has to get the wall done. I think that Democrats should negotiate with him regarding citizenship for dreamers. I know dreamers. I know people who are dreamers. I have friends. I want them to become citizens. 2 million. He offered citizenship for 2 million people. By the way, I have this live stream that is like never ending, and I've reached out to Google support, and hopefully they'll help me out. They are in the process of helping me, but if there's a live stream that's ongoing and you're watching this, it's never ending. It's like the never ending live stream. I tried to log out of it, and I've spoken to 2 different Google support people, and they haven't explained how to, because there's like a back-end creator studio, and the thing will not let me, because when I clicked stop broadcast, it didn't. So then I clicked out of the screen. Anyway, it's still going. So it might still be going when you watch this like a day from now. Anyway, which stinks because it might affect my other live streams. I want to do more live streams. Anyway, President Trump he needs to get this through because he won't be able to get this through the next 2 years. Democrats need to negotiate with him. A fence is just as, if you feel a wall is immoral, then a fence is just as immoral. If you deport 2.5 million people under President Obama and you're okay with a border fence but not a wall, you have problems. They just want to hurt Trump. That's the whole thing. If he should what he should do is just go all out. Declare a national emergency, fire Mueller, and start a Clinton special counsel and let the chips fall where they may. And if what you need 2/3, 67 senators, you're not going to get, you would need 15? No, you would need 15 or so, 16 or so Republicans to vote to impeach Trump. That's not going to happen. No, more than that. Anyway, you need 67 senators to actually convict a president of crimes that he hasn't committed. He hasn't committed any crimes. So you need a simple majority in the House to impeach the president, and then 2/3 of Congress, so 67 senators. So no, you'd need a lot more than that. Closer to, over 20. But anyway, he should just do all of these things. President Trump, let's see, absolutely, we can call it. So nationally, so it's interesting that Democrats have no problem funding interventions overseas. No problem at all. They have no problem giving Trump authority regarding the authorization for use of military force. They have no problem at all regarding any of these things. None whatsoever. Billions upon billions upon billions of dollars we spend in Afghanistan alone. Monthly cost, $45 billion per year. Pentagon says conflict in Afghanistan costs taxpayers $45 billion per year. Okay? He wants $5 billion. They won't give him $5 billion. But $45 billion, no problem. $5 billion, really bad. $45 billion, not a problem at all. And that's the issue. $45 billion, for example, and you have a situation where we have to bring home Americans. He's bringing home Americans, which is a great thing. $45 billion in Afghanistan, cost of Iraq per month. Well, the whole thing, the Iraq War in 2013 was $2 trillion. Thanks, Bush and Obama. Let's see, cost of Iraq War 2017. Per month, it's $12 billion. So $45 billion per month, it's 12. How much did the Iraq War cost per month? How much did the Iraq War cost per month? Per month, it's $12 billion. Per month, it's $12 billion. So amount owed to Iraq. So the cost per month for the war, okay, by 2008, sorry. The war per year, why is this, it's like impossible to find this. 5.6 trillion, all these billions that are like merging together, I can't. Okay, so it's 45 billion 1 year for Afghanistan. But I'm trying to find out Iraq. Anyway, you know it's in the billions. 2018, similar, probably around the same price. The point is this. Democrats don't care. Democrats have no problem at all. They have no problem at all. $45 billion for a country thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away, no problem. In a never-ending conflict where we're sending Americans away from their families and their kids and their husbands and wives, no problem. But $5 billion because it would, and they're not even negotiating. That's the issue. They're not even negotiating. Trump is, and this could be a moment for Democrats where they are able to, this could be a moment where they're able to get something from Trump. This could be a moment where they're able to look at their constituents and say, you know what, we were able to achieve citizenship for 2 million dreamers. This could be a moment where, what, you want a $15 minimum wage? What, Medicare for all? Green economy? You want to abolish ICE? How about build the wall, abolish ICE? I mean, like, something. Anything. They promised all of these things to their progressive voters. They're not working on that. Even today, you have one congresswoman stating, well, you know, we want to impeach the you-know-what. And they're ratcheting up the rhetoric. And by the way, Pelosi and Schiff, they all condemn that. Nadler. And they're all saying also, oh yeah, we shouldn't impeach him. We shouldn't go ahead and impeach him. That's not good. So, and that's with the Mueller probe. This is Adam Schiff, by the way, who said that, we have evidence that Trump colluded with Russia. Now, 2 years into it, they're able to take the House by simply lying and deceiving their voters and no evidence. Absolutely no evidence. Trump suggests government shutdown could last for months or even years. The longer this plays out, the worse it is for Democrats. Democrats derive their power from government, from unions, from D.C., from media. When they say, oh, it's the Trump shutdown, he doesn't care. Conservatives don't care. Trump voters don't care. I never really wanted a wall. I never really wanted a wall, but if the wall helps end trafficking, end illegal narcotics, and human, trafficking of all different sorts, if it helps end those things, criminal behavior, or mitigates those things more so than offense, then that's good. Then that's good. But the longer this goes, the worse it is for Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Adam Schiff. I mean, Trump he just needs to act decisively. And I'm talking about hopefully when William Barr is sworn in. This is an old CIA. He was in the CIA in the 70s. I don't think they allow people to just transfer top secret intel outside the U.S. government. I don't think he's going to look at Hillary Clinton's email investigation or scandal and say, oh, well, it's no big deal. She transferred top secret and special access program intelligence outside of the United States government. So this is a big deal. A lot of, all of these issues, he didn't commit any crimes, she committed crimes. Democrats are not in a position of power. Trump is, and he has the Senate. At the end of the day, Republicans, even the establishment Republicans, are not going to commit what would be the political equivalent of suicide. They're not going to just say, oh, well, we'll side with Democrats because Trump is playing hardball on a border wall, which is a conservative policy objective for years. For years and years. I actually wrote against it in the Huffington Post a while back when I was very much on the left. But now that I can see there are some benefits to a border wall. There are some. It's not just this symbol of racism. It's not just this symbol of xenophobia. Creating a new Cold War where you blame Russia because of an election loss is far greater of an example of xenophobia and hatred. I mean, think about it this way. Democrats, and I had a lunch with a buddy of mine, grew up with him. He's great. He's amazing. He was just saying, oh, well, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that. It's like talking to a cult member. You can't get through. You can't get through. You can't get through. You can't get through. That's why Trump needs to act either unilaterally or he just has to continue the shutdown. He cannot capitulate. If he capitulates, it's done. He won't win in 2020. And I am how confident I am. I called the 2016 election. Sure, I haven't been right on everything, but I've been right on most things. The Russia probe was nonsense. The Steele dossier was nonsense. Sessions was nonsense. James Comey, they covered up Clinton's email debacle. They covered up Clinton's crimes. Throughout everything, my analysis has been pretty spot on. Haven't been perfect, pretty spot on. I will say this categorically. If Trump capitulates, he doesn't get his $5 billion, he's going to lose in 2020. So, but that's pretty obvious. He cannot capitulate. He has to just continue with what he's doing. He has to continue with what he's doing, and he has to. He just can't. He can't allow Democrats to prevent what essentially is a national security issue. Whether it's a fence or a wall, it is a national security issue. It is. I'm not talking. For me, immigrants, undocumented immigrants are great people. The majority that I've ever met in my life have been beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. There is the issue of crime at the border. There is the issue of narcotics, trafficking, all these things. And the fence is not doing its job, or a lack of a fence. And it's creating a tremendous burden upon human beings who work at ICE and law enforcement, all these things. So Trump does have, just from an intellectual standpoint, he does have a point. He does have a point. And you can't simply rest upon, oh my God, we're so much better. We voted for a fence, but on a wall. Blah, blah, blah. That does not work. That's not going to fly. It's not going to fly. Because at the end of the day, when Obama deports 2.5 million people, you cannot judge or condemn. Your vantage point as a Democrat, as a liberal, is horrendous. And you are guilty of everything that you claim to be above. So this judgment and condemnation of Trump and his wall is based on verbal refuse, euphemisms, and George Orwell called euphemisms verbal refuse, and the xenophobia and racism of the left. When you have Obama deporting 2.5 million people, and you have Obama and Strzok and Comey and Page and Clinton and all of them, and Brennan and Clapper saying it's Russia's fault, it's Russia's fault, it's Russia's fault, that's also xenophobia, that's also hatred. It's just sanctioned by the government. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I hope this live stream that I have, I hope I can even upload this segment. I have this never-ending live stream. It's like those nightmares that you don't even. You're like, oh my God, is this nightmare ever going to end? I have this never-ending live stream. Hopefully, eventually it'll end. It just wouldn't allow me to get out. Anyway, hit subscribe right now. Thank you so very much for listening. Hit subscribe.